Earl of Clarendon is a title that has been created twice in British history, in 1661 and 1776. The family seat is Holywell House, near Swanmore, Hampshire. First creation of the title. The title was created for the first time in the Peerage of England in 1661 for the statesman Edward Hyde, 1st Baron Hyde. He was Chancellor of the Exchequer from 1643 to 1646 and Lord Chancellor from 1658 to 1667 and a close political advisor to Charles II. Although he later fell out of favour and was forced into exile, Hyde had already been created Baron Hyde of Hindon in the county of Wiltshire in 1660, and was made Viscount Cornbury in the county of Oxford. At the same time he was given the earldom. These titles were also in the Peerage of England. His second son, the Hon. Lawrence Hyde, was also a politician and was created Earl of Rochester in 1682. Lord Clarendon's daughter Lady Anne Hyde married the future King James II and was the mother of Queen Mary II and Queen Anne. Lord Clarendon was succeeded by his eldest son Henry, the second Earl. He was also a politician and served as Lord Privy Seal and Lord Lieutenant of Ireland. His son, the third Earl, represented Wiltshire and Christchurch in the House of Commons and served as Governor of New York. Before succeeding to the earldom, he had married Catherine, 8th Baroness Clifton, but she died in New York before becoming Countess. Their only son Edward Hyde, Viscount Cornbury, succeeded his mother as 9th Baron Clifton in 1706. He died 10 years before his father. Unmarried, the only daughter Lady Theodosia succeeded her elder brother as 10th Baroness Clifton. See the Baron Clifton for later history of this title. Lord Clarendon was succeeded by his first cousin Henry Hyde, 2nd Earl of Rochester, who became the 4th Earl of Clarendon. He was the only son of the 1st Earl of Rochester. He had earlier represented Launceston in the House of Commons and served as Lord Lieutenant of Cornwall. His only surviving son and heir apparent Henry Hyde, Viscount Cornbury, was summoned to the House of Lords through a writ of acceleration in his father's junior title of Baron Hyde in 1751. However, he died childless in April 1753, 8 months before the death of his father. Consequently, on Lord Clarendon's death in December 1753, all the titles became extinct. Second creation of the title. Lady Jane Hyde, eldest daughter of the 4th Earl of Clarendon, married William Capel, 3rd Earl of Essex. Their daughter Lady Charlotte Capel married the prominent diplomat and politician the Hon. Thomas Villiers, second son of William Villiers, 2nd Earl of Jersey. Villiers was envoy to Vienna and Berlin and served as joint postmaster general and as Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster. In 1748 he was made a Baron of the Kingdom of Prussia, an honour which he received royal licence to use in Great Britain. And in 1756 the barony of Hyde held by his wife's ancestors was revived when he was raised to the Peerage of Great Britain as Baron Hyde of Hindon in the county of Wiltshire. In 1776 the earldom of Clarendon was also revived when he was made Earl of Clarendon in the Peerage of Great Britain. Lord Clarendon was succeeded by his eldest son, the 2nd Earl. He sat as Member of Parliament for Christchurch and Helston. He never married and was succeeded by his younger brother, the 3rd Earl. He represented several constituencies in the House of Commons and served as controller of the household between 1789 and 1790. He had one daughter but no sons and was succeeded by his nephew, the 4th Earl. He was the eldest son of the Hon. George Villiers, 1759 to 1827. Third son of the 1st Earl, known as the Great Lord Clarendon. He was a prominent diplomat and Liberal politician. He was 3 times Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom and also served as Lord Privy Seal, Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, President of the Board of Trade and Lord Lieutenant of Ireland. Lord Clarendon was succeeded by his second but eldest surviving son, the 5th Earl. In early life he briefly represented Brecon in the House of Commons as a Liberal but later joined the Conservative Party and held minor office from 1895 to 1905 under Lord Salisbury and Arthur Balfour. On his death the titles passed to his only son, the 6th Earl. He was a Conservative politician and served under Bonar Law and Stanley Baldwin as Captain of the Honourable Corps of Gentlemen-at-Arms and Under-Secretary of State for Dominion Affairs. He was later Governor-General of South Africa from 1931 to 1937. His grandson, George, the 7th Earl, who succeeded in 1955, died in July 2009. He was the only son of George Herbert Arthur Edward Hyde Villiers, Lord Hyde, who died in 1935. The title has passed to his son, George, 8th Earl. As a descendant of the 2nd Earl of Jersey, Lord Clarendon is also in remainder to this peerage and its subsidiary titles. Several other members of this branch of the Villiers family have also gained distinction. Thomas Hyde Villiers, 2nd son of the Hon. George Villiers, 3rd son of the 1st Earl, represented 3 constituencies in the House of Commons before his early death in 1832. His son Reverend Charles Villiers was the father of one Edward Cecil Villiers, a Rear Admiral in the Royal Navy, whose son Sir Michael Villiers was a Vice Admiral in the Royal Navy and 4th Sea Lord from 1960 to 1963, and 2. Ernest Amherst Villiers, Liberal Member of Parliament for Brighton from 1906 to 1910. The successful businessman and racehorse owner Charles Villiers, born 1963, who co-founded the local newspaper company Score Press Limited, which was sold for £155 million in 2005, is the great-great-great-grandson of the aforementioned Thomas Villiers MP. The Hon. Charles Pelham Villiers, 3rd son of the Hon. George Villiers, was a prominent Liberal politician and served as President of the Poor Law Board, with a seat in the Cabinet, from 1859 to 1866. Between 1890 and 1898 he was Father of the House of Commons. The Conservative politician Teresa Villiers is the great-great-great-granddaughter of the Hon. Edward Ernest Villiers, 4th son of the Hon. George Villiers. The Right Reverend the Hon. Henry Montagu Villiers, 5th son of the Hon. George Villiers, was Bishop of Durham from 1860 until his death the following year. The Hon. Sir Francis Hyde Villiers, 4th and youngest son of the 4th Earl, was a diplomat and served as British ambassador to Belgium from 1919 to 1920. His grandson was the actor James Villiers. The family main home is Holywell House, Swanmore, Hampshire. The family's main home 1753 to 1923 was the largest of the 3 main manors of Watford. The Grove, which is today a hotel in Sarrett civil parish. Earls of Clarendon. First creation, 1661. Edward Hyde, 1st Earl of Clarendon, 1609 to 1674. Henry Hyde, 2nd Earl of Clarendon, 1638 to 1709. Edward Hyde, 3rd Earl of Clarendon, 1661 to 1723. Edward Hyde, Viscount Cornbury, 9th Baron Clifton, 1691 to 1713. Henry Hyde, 4th Earl of Clarendon, 2nd Earl of Rochester, 1672 to 1753. Henry Hyde, Viscount Cornbury, 5th Baron Hyde, 1710 to 1753. Earls of Clarendon. Second creation, 1776. Thomas Villiers, 1st Earl of Clarendon, 1709 to 1786. Thomas Villiers, 2nd Earl of Clarendon, 1753 to 1824. John Charles Villiers, 3rd Earl of Clarendon, 1757 to 1838. George William Frederick Villiers, 4th Earl of Clarendon, 1800 to 1870. Edward Hyde Villiers, Lord Hyde, 1845 to 1846. Edward Hyde Villiers, 5th Earl of Clarendon, 1846 to 1914. George Herbert Hyde Villiers, 6th Earl of Clarendon, 1877 to 1955. George Herbert Arthur Edward Hyde Villiers, Lord Hyde, 1906 to 1935. George Frederick Lawrence Hyde Villiers, 7th Earl of Clarendon, 1933 to 2009. George Edward Lawrence Villiers, 8th Earl of Clarendon, b. 1976. The heir apparent is the present holder's eldest son Edward George James Villiers, Lord Hyde, b. 2008. Ancestry. See also: Clarendon Palace, Earl of Jersey, Earl of Rochester, Sir Nicholas Hyde, Town Hall, Wootton Bassett. Bibliography. Catalogue of the portraits in the collection of the Earl of Clarendon, by Robin Gibson. Paul Mellon Centre, 1977. Notes. Kidd, Charles. Williamson, David. Editors. Debrett's Peerage and Baronetage. 1990 edition. New York, St. Martin's Press. 1990. George Villiers, 8th Earl of Clarendon. Lee Raymond's Peerage Pages. Lundy, Darrell. Fack. The Peerage.